Hello, my name is Sharon Thomas and I'm here today to tell you all about Supermend fabric bonding powder. We are the sole manufacturers of this wonderful product and we distribute from the UK to any postal address worldwide. It also comes with a full set of easy to understand instructions. Supermend fabric bonding powder can be used to repair rips in a garment you can turn inside out and a garment you can't. First of all, we're going to show you on a garment that you can turn inside out. So there's the rip in the garment, and this could be anything from a tent to a wedding dress. The principle is always the same. You turn the garment inside out, you put the rip back together as best as you can, you sprinkle the powder onto the back like this. Then simply take a piece of fabric as a backing patch. Now you can use an old piece of cotton from another garment, or if you're lucky enough you can even use the same fabric if you've got a spare piece on the hem, the lapel, the waistband. That way you'd end up with a double-sided invisible repair. Blow away your excess powder, simply cover with an old paper bag or greaseproof baking parchment, press with a hot iron, turn the garment over, do the other side, and the job is done. You can wear the garment immediately. All repairs will stand up to washing, boiling and dry cleaning after just a few hours. Now I'd like to show you how to use Supermend fabric bonding powder for repairing a rip in a garment that you can't turn inside out. Now this could be your three-piece suite, a car seat cover, a sleeping bag or even a duvet cover. Whatever you choose to repair, you need to make a backing patch. Now if you're lucky enough, you can take a piece of fabric from a concealed part of the garment, like the hem, the lapel, the waistband, the pocket, or if you're using it for a car seat, underneath the handbrake is a good place. Sprinkle the powder onto this fabric like so. Put baking parchment or greaseproof paper over the top and press with a hot iron. The heat from the iron will penetrate through and melt the powder onto the fabric without leaking through to the other side, because Supermend is non-porous. Then you simply peel it back like this and slide the piece of fabric between the lining and the top like this. You could use a knitting needle or something sharp just to flatten that off and smooth it into position like this. Then simply put the rip back together as best as you possibly can and press with a hot iron. You can wear the garment immediately. A few hours later you can wash, boil or send all your garments to the dry cleaners, and there's your repair. Okay. Now I'd like to show you how to use Supermend fabric bonding powder to repair a cigarette burn in a shirt. All you do is simply cut away your burnt edges from the cigarette burn, so it ends up looking something like this. Then you turn the garment inside out and take a piece of fabric from the hem, the lapel, the waistband, anywhere where it's not going to be missed, and cut it so that it fits into the hole like this. Sprinkle the powder over the top. Get a thin piece of cotton as a backing patch. Again, if you're lucky enough to have another piece of fabric from the shirt, you can use that as your backing patch. If you're not, then you can use a similar texture fabric, maybe an old handkerchief or a pillowcase or anything that's a similar texture. Blow away your excess powder, paper over the top and press with a hot iron. All your repairs can be worn immediately, and a few hours later you can wash, boil and send to the dry cleaners. And there's your repair, if you want me to.
No, that's fine. That's okay.
Now I'd like to show you how to use Supermend fabric bonding powder to repair rips, tears and cigarette burns in sweatshirts, t-shirts, jumpers, suiting or anything at all with a woolly texture. If we can imagine in our mind's eye that this is a pair of expensive suit trousers, this is all you would have to do. Take a piece of baking parchment or greaseproof paper and position it up the leg of the trousers. Now we're going to use a slightly different technique to what I showed you before. Instead of filling the hole with a piece, we're going to take a few fibres from the hem, the lapel, the waistband, the pocket and mash those fibres up as fine as you possibly can. We're going to mash it up into a very, very, very fine fluff and then simply sprinkle some powder in with the fluff and mix it together like this. Then we're going to put the fibres back into the hole like this. Now sometimes you may not be lucky enough with a woolen garment to have any spare fabric that you can mash up. So in that case you just cheat and use a ball of wool or a tapestry thread the same colour and mash that up instead. Sprinkle your powder over the top there like this and then get a thin piece of fabric as a backing patch. Anything would do nicely. An old piece of cotton or nylon is fine. You need to be able to keep the texture the same or a little bit lighter than the fabric that you're repairing. This way you'll get a lovely soft repair. Put the baking parchment over the top like this and press with a hot iron. The powder will melt into the garment, catching all those fibres back into the trousers. Peel back and the job is almost done. Then we simply turn it through to the other side like this and finish the top off like this. And there's your repair. You'd never get a repair like that with a needle and cotton. Thank you for watching our video today. For further information, please go to www.supermend.co.uk or www.supermend.com, where you will find written instructions on how to do all of these jobs we've shown you today, and you can also order online. Remember, we can distribute to any postal address worldwide.